For more on this, I'm now joined in the studio by Jean-Jacques Zambrowski, a professor of medicine who's worked in the US. Hello, thank you very much indeed for being with us. Now, if you could start off by telling us, first of all, just how dangerous measles is.
Basically, in most of the patients, measles is not a dangerous disease. But in some people, for some unknown reason, whether they are infants or adults, it can turn to infectious pulmonary complications or to neurologic complications and even to death. The figures about death is 1 up to 3 out of 1,000 patients. But when you have a lot of patients, then death can occur, which of course explains why the people in Rockland County have taken such a
drastic
very serious
measures
restriction, because it's not only attending school, they are prevented from going to the supermarket, from going to the public transports.
Why is that? How do you catch it?
By just snoring and coughing.
Okay.
So it's very easy to communicate. It's the most communicable disease. It has always almost disappeared, for example, from the United States in the 2000s, and then it came back.
Why is that?
From a tourist who caught it somewhere where vaccination was not compulsory. And from this single patient who brought back the virus, it spread all over. And now you have cases in the United States every year. It is said that there is 150,000 cases a year, which means a certain number of people who die. Actually, a few hundred people die every year, which is that a stupid manner of dying.
And part of the problem is, as we heard in that report, is that some parents believe that the vaccine can actually lead to autism. Is there any truth in that?
No, there is not. It has been, evidence has been brought that this has been published by someone who finally admitted that it was a fake news, that all this data was just fictitious and nothing, there is nothing serious. Some other people would reject the vaccination for religious reasons. So there are, and in this county particularly, there is a very religious community who for some also non-serious reason would
ultra-Orthodox Jewish community,
yes,
right? That's where it originated.
Yes, yes. And also the chief rabbi of the United States says this is just stupid. Never God would prevent someone to get vaccinated. These people are more extreme than the chief rabbi would be himself, and that just reject all kinds of vaccination.
So what's the answer then? This particular state or county is offering free vaccinations. Do you think that's going to help?
Well, of course, in some countries like Madagascar or other countries in the world, the question of access and free vaccine, costless vaccination is, but for these people, the
finances
issue is definitely
not the issue.
No, of course not. And even in the United States, it's offered for free in many, many places. It has been the case for years. And people, for religious reasons, or for God knows what, would reject any type of vaccination, not only measles, but also poliomyelitis and others, which, of course, have proven their efficacy. The truth is, there are always, when you vaccinate thousands or millions of kids, that some accidents may happen. For the reason of a few units of accidents, they reject all of it, which is a nonsense, a real
And if you could
threat.
just tell us about the situation here in Europe and in France with measles.
In France, the vaccination is compulsory. Most of the kids are vaccinated before the age, before they go to school. Actually, they cannot be admitted in any school, whether it's public or private, without and this happens to be the case all over Europe. Vaccination is free. And vaccination is not only against measles, but also against mumps and rubella. So it's vaccine mumps, measles, rubella, in French ROR, but it's just the same. And sometimes also associated with chickenpox, varicella. And this covers most common things and allow the kids to go to school and be safe.
All right. Well,
so we have less cases than in the US. But the lack of health coverage in the US is an issue.
I wish we had more time to talk about it, but we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Jean-Jacques Zambrowski. Thank you.